Hi, I'm Michael Nadlin from Market Lead, and today's video is about Google Ads viability test. Will it work for me, or will it work for you? Now, the reason why I'm doing this video today is because my friend 𝘆ecie𝗂𝗿𝗀 from Persuasion Experience actually sent me an email on Tuesday about this, asking if there's a viability test or a way that I see if clients are viable to run Google Ads. Now, over the years, over the last 10 years actually, running Google Ads, I've always had an intuition towards what would work and what would not work, but that's not really a framework you can go towards or give to someone to actually share to see if they think it's viable. But when I started reverse engineering, if I think things are viable, there was a very clear framework, and there was two distincting factors that were there, and these were the viability factors were demand and economics. Now, the reason why these two things are really important, I'll go over, but I'll just go over the next slide now just to show what industries or what products or what services or what softwares tend to go well on Google Ads. Now, this is just a very high level perspective. And the reason why I've done this is because when I get a prospect come past me or people ask me, once they tell me the product or service or the software and what industry or what type of client they're going after, it's pretty simple and easy to go from the start. So this is my very high level view on Google Ads for these type of industries. And the one down here is industrial. So I'll just hide myself back here. So looking at Google Ads, service-based businesses, everything that is service for B2C, B2B, and industrial goes really well on Google Ads. Same with products. The thing that I notice most of the time that goes very hard on Google Ads because it's very competitive is SaaS or software. And because the reason with SaaS and software is there's such a booming SaaS and software industry going that Google Ads is a good first touch point for these companies to actually get a minimal viable product out there to see if it works or people want to buy. It's actually really flooded in the SaaS space. Now, you can get amazing results in the software and SaaS space, but it is super expensive. So that's why I think it's not viable for a lot of businesses, just because they don't have the cash to burn through to test to see. But when businesses do have a service or a product, it's very simple and clear that if someone is proactively searching for that service or product, they'll probably get clicks and then leads or sales out of it. This is both for lead generation and e-commerce as well. So products does represent e-commerce, but it can also actually represent they're selling a physical unit or a machinery or something to a business as well. So going to the next slide. Viability tests, the availability. The main thing you always need to ask are people looking for specifically what you do? Are they specifically looking for an accountant in Melbourne or crane hire in Sydney or small business accounting software? Now, this is the big thing. You want people to be able to go to Google and type in specifically what you do. If they're not looking for what you do, it's going to be very hard to get them to the website because their intent's not there. The best part about Google Ads is the buying intent or the action intent. And if you have something very unique that needs to be building demand for it, as in like you need to interrupt people, build the demand so then they come, that's not going to work on Google Ads. Google Ads works really well if people are already typing in specifically what they want. They either have a problem that they're looking for the solution for, or they know what the solution is and they're looking for a provider for it. I'm going to go over 3 examples here because I asked 𝘆cie what were the type of clients that she's working with who are looking for Google Ads, just so I could actually give a real life experience for it. So the first one is a branding agency in America. The second is a HR consultancy in Australia. And then the third is a 401k replacement and retirement plan in America as well. So I'm going to go into the Google Keyword Planner, but then I'm also going to show you a tool I've built. Very simple tool. You could do it yourself. And with this tool, you can actually execute it to see if you're viable. So let's jump into that now. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, share. And if you're ready to become a market leader and you're serious about increasing your sales, increasing your customers, and scaling your business with Google Ads, have a chat with someone at my team about your Google Ads account at marketlead.com.au. So here we go, let's jump in. So I'm in the Google Ads Keyword Planner, and this is the first place you'd want to start just to make sure that people are specifically looking for what you do and the search volumes and the approximate cost per clicks as well. Now I'm going to go over a framework as well on what the approximate impressions you should use and the approximate CTR you should use, the approximate conversion rate you should use, and the approximate lead to sale rate as well. So let's go into discover new keywords. And for the first one, we're going to do a branding agency. So I'm going to write branding agency and then branding agency agency USA. And then I might just do branding agency New York. Now, this is really important. Just you want to be doing the specific service and then also maybe a location as well. Keyword as in like the state or the major city. And I'm going to change this to the United States. Go to their target, so it's only targeting the United States. Remove Australia, save, and get results. So this is the first place we're going to start. And what you've got here is you've got your keywords up here, and then you've also got your keywords that you've provided here, and then keyword ideas. So this can actually show you an expanded way of other keywords you can go after as well. So looking here, we can see that there are around 8,000 searches per month for branding agency, 40 for branding agency USA. It definitely will be higher. And then around 400 for branding agency New York. So let's just go with these for the start off. I'll say the impressions for these type of keywords is around 8,500. Next, we want to be looking at is the top of page bid range, being the low range or the high range. And the high range will show if you're in position 1 or 2, and then the low range would be in like position 3 or 4. And ideally, you want to be looking at the high range because you always want to be estimating your numbers off the highest cost per click and the lowest conversion rate. So based on those numbers, you'll have a realistic number to work towards. And the issue will be is if you over exceed those, you get lower cost per click and a higher conversion rate, you win. But you want to be starting off with realistic expectations, which is high cost per click, low conversion rate. So 8,500 impressions will go for a month, and then on the average cost per click, let's just go around maybe $12. So I'm going to jump into this calculator that I've built in just Google Sheets, and we're going to go with the average cost per click. I'm just going to do $12. And the average conversion rate, I'm going to do around 5%. Now, it's 5% if it's going to a landing page, so a one-page landing page with one call to action and a very clear offer. If it's a website, maybe 2%. Now, I've got a lot of clients converting from 10 to 30% consistently. When I'm doing a viability test, I never want to be held across numbers that I actually don't have control over. So if you're running Google Ads, you need to make sure that you're doing a very conservative number, because if the conversion rate's higher, you get better results, everyone's happy. You want to make sure that from the start, you're giving realistic numbers. So even if they're a bit lower than you expect them to be, if you're more realistic, you'll have less pressure against you that when you're not delivering these results of a higher number, that there'll be less pressure to deliver. So the first one is the $12 cost per click, and we can see a conversion rate of 5%. So we can see that the approximate cost per lead is going to be around $240, which is quite standard. Now, lead to sale rate, this is interesting because most business owners will say, oh, it's 80 or 90%. You want to actually pull it down by about 50%. So if it's 90%, pull it down to 50% of that, which is 45%, or if it's 80 to 40%. So we'll do 40% here. And the reason why we want to do that is because when someone is getting most of their leads, usually they expect them to be quite warm. When you go to paid advertising, they're not as hot, they're not as warm. So just expect it to go down. So when we put 40% in, we can see the approximate cost per sale is going to be $600. Now, when you are looking for going back here, a branding agency, if it's costing you $600 to get a client, that is amazing. So don't get worried that because the cost per click's high or the conversion rate's not at 10%, things are bad. Now, the next thing going down from there is the impressions. So impressions and CTR are important because this can give you the approximate clicks, leads, and sales you get a month. So we've got the 8,500, and we put that in there. And the next thing is the average CTR, and I usually go for around 3%. Now, I've got a lot of clients that go higher, but I just presume around 3 to 3.5% is a benchmark I always just move towards. So we can see here that with a $12 cost per click, conversion rate this and this, 8,500 searches at a 3% CTR, should be getting around 298 clicks, 15 leads, $240 cost per lead, around 6 sales at a $600 cost per lead. And then ultimately, the budget would be $3,500. These numbers are very loose. You've got to remember that case by case, things change quite dramatically. So I'm going to jump onto the next one, which is the 401k replacement and the 401k retirement and replacement plan and the 401k retirement plan. And I already just searched for this then, and then I realized there actually might be an issue for this, because when I look at these keywords, it's really hard to distinguish, is someone actually specifically looking for this? So we can see that people are looking for 401k, all this stuff. And then I could be putting in keywords like 401k, retirement plan, service, and we'll see, or replacement plan, retirement plan, and we'll just see if what actually comes through here. But it doesn't actually look like 401k retirement plan if someone's specifically looking for a service. So this is probably a flag for me, and seeing that the cost per click is so high, it probably presumes that people are bidding on it, going after it quite aggressively. But based on the keywords and the searches I'm seeing, it doesn't seem like people are proactively looking for a service. They might be doing their own thing at the start. But let's just go with this. So the 401k retirement plan, $12,017. So we've got our impression, so 12,000. 17, and we can see for this prospect that their cost per lead would be around $340, and cost per acquisition or cost per sale $850. So that's a really good insight there, that when you do use the keyword planner, you can see the viability also based on, is the search intent there? Are they looking for the specific product or service you're offering, but are there service-based keywords in it to let you actually know that they're proactively looking for help from a third party rather than just doing it themselves? Now, the last one I'm going to do is HR consultancy in Australia. So HR consultancy, HR consultant, HR consultancy. I'll do Sydney, and then also do in Melbourne. And then you can also do other locations as well throughout wherever you are. And I think location keywords are really important for this as well. Changes to Australia. And here we go. So jumping in here, and we'll also see a lot of ideas like HR consulting firm. So we've already got around 1,500 searches. I can guarantee HR consulting services, human resource consulting. So let's just say it's around 2,000 clicks a month or impressions a month. And we can see that the cost per click's already around 20, 40, 26, 25, 33, 21. So I'm going to say around $26 would be my bidding. So $2,026. So 2,000 impressions, we'll go with that. And $26. And we can see here for this type of client, they should approximate their cost per lead around $520 and expect the cost per sale to be around $1,300. Now, these numbers are really important to know, that when you do pull these levers, you'll get better results. So if you can get the click cost cheaper, maybe down to $20, you see that the cost per lead goes from $520 to $400. If you get the conversion rate up from that to 10%, we get that at $20, $200. It's lead to sale rate up. We get the cost per lead from $500 to $250. So you've just got to remember that at the end of the day, whilst you can do these approximates at the start and actually have a very clear number, once you go live with the account, you can pull levers and get better results. The main things to remember are: 1, are the search terms relevant? Are people proactively looking for what you want? 2, is the cost per click appropriate to what you want to be getting based on a cost per lead? And 3, are your conversion rates realistic? And can you actually leverage it through conversion rate optimization or implementing landing pages? So I'll leave it there. If you've got any questions, please let me know, but I'll put this video up tomorrow. So remember, like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, share.